afternoon, students. We'll be continuing with our chapter 1 topic, that is system calls. So, what is system calls? The interface between your user and your OS program is defined by a set of system calls. So, there should be some system to be performed on which your OS and user can work, and your user also should get an a response from the system, and that is the reason we use system calls. Now therefore system calls make up an interface between processes and the operating system. Usually a system call ties up with your interface and processes and operating system to give an response to the user. The system calls are functions used in kernel interface. Kernel interface is the system user interface, as well as for programmer's point of view, system call is a normal C function call. Any programming language calling a function, this is a normal functioning which is done in the system. Now, as well as during execution, when application invokes a system call, any application performs a system call, that time it is interrupted and system switches to kernel space. From user space, the system switches to the kernel space so that it can perform the task. Moving on with the diagram, what we can do is we can go with the numbers how they are being considered. So one is user space and one is kernel space. So kernel space is where your operating system resides, and user space is where the functioning is going to be done for further processing. So these are the 11th step is making the system call read. Only for read function your particular this whole system call is working. So we'll go with the numbers. The first number is push n bytes. Suppose any value is entered by the user, the n bytes are being taken. Push bytes are buffer. They are load onto the user program. Now see here, user program calling read function. Only reading is being done so that it can be loaded onto the library, and through which library it can be dispatched in the operating system, and system call handler will handle it and reply to the user. For that we'll read push fd, and that is push the function demand to the call reader. The call reader will put the code in the read register. So first in the temporary register it will get load. After that the sixth is trap to the kernel and dispatch. From read function it will go into the system phase, that is kernel space. After dispatching it will move on to the system call handler. Now whichever read system call is required, that the system will provide. Then the next is after getting the system call it will move to the caller to get an reply. Once the reply has been done, it is incremented sp. Increment here is done. Once your one task is done, it will give you the next task, that is incrementing by 1. So after this, the next is what are system calls. Now there are many system calls. First one is system calls for process management. So process management, PDI fork, PID fork, FORK fork. Now fork function is used to create a child process identical to the parent process. Now child process and parent process is main folder. Inside that if you create folders, that inside folders will be called as child process, whereas the main folder which is there, that can be called as a parent folder. So likewise we can create n number of child processes in the parent process, that is with the help of FORK function. So PID, process ID, PID stands for process ID. Wait PID. Why do wait? Wait for child to terminate. Any child process, small process is going on inside the main process. To terminate it, we can use wait PID function. It has characteristics. What we have to provide is PID, stack location, and options. Options means what options are being given to that particular child process. S is equal to, system is equal to execution CVE, name, argument, and environment. Replace a process core image. When you want to replace a particular process core image, you have to use S as an function, that is EXECVE. Exit, now to terminate the whole process. When you want to remove the whole process from execution, you use exit and its status, that is it's open, close, working, that we have to write in the status. Then the next is file management. System calls for file management. There are different system calls for file management. FD, open, is for opening file for reading, writing, or both. Reading means only you can use it for reading. Writing means to make the changes, and for both you can use the function called as open. The next one is close function, to close and open file. Read is to only read the data, you cannot make the changes. Into a buffer means you can load the data, you cannot write or make any changes. Write function, you can write the data from a buffer into the file. After the things are loaded, you can write from buffer into the file. Position is move the file pointer, means wherever your file is located, to get back to the position, to need the position, we use lseek option. The next is S is equal to stat, that is the status. Get the file status information, when it is created, where it is saved, what is the KB data inside it. All these file status informations are being provided by the function called as stat. After this, there is, after file management, there is directory and file system management system calls. So see here, when we talk about file management, it's only about the file. When we talk about directory and file system, it is about the folders also. So for folders, we have an technical word, that is directory. So first function which we have, first system call which we have for directory and file system is mkdir. mkdir is to create a new directory, that is a new folder. Second one is rmdir, that is to remove an empty directory. We have a system called as rmdir. Third one is link, to create a new entry, name 2 pointing to name 1. When we want to link any of the entry with name 1 into a directory, when new created, we can use the function called as link. Unlink is to remove a directory entry. To remove a particular directory entry which is linked to each other, we can use unlink function or system call. Mounting is mount a file system, to create an hierarchy. Setting levels to your folders can be termed as mounting a file system. Unmount is vice versa, that when you do not want a hierarchy, you can use unmount function system call. The next is miscellaneous, all over, whatever you can do, that is change directory, chdir, for changing the working directory. Now it is not compulsory every time you will work with the same directory. You can have n number of folders on which you can be working. For changing the directories in which you are working, you can use the function or system call called as chdir. Then the next is change mode. Change a file protection bits. Now it can be in the read mode, it can be in the write mode, it can be in the execute mode. There are n number of modes, from which if I want to go in only read mode, I do not want to make any changes in the data, that time I can use ch mode and write the name of the particular folder or directory and change the mode of that directory. Then kill is to signal to a process, set the signal that yes, particular person is trying to access your data, and for that we use kill. The next is seconds times, get elapsed time since Jan 1 1917. Elapsed time means how much time of processing was required to access this particular system call is considered in seconds, is equal to time system calls. Now see here, all these system calls are there in your practicals also for your execution, and that will be in your Unix shell, that is command prompt. Then the next is system calls for process management. This is how it works when it calls the coding, that is you have to set a loop of while, then you have fork, then you have parent code, wait if the status is not working, child if you want to remove the child process. This is accordingly which works. Then the next is system calls for file management. You have a stack, that is all the files put together. You have a gap, that is to load the files, then the data of the files, and then the text which is being read by the file. Then the system calls for directories, certain hierarchies. See, you can see here /usr /AST/USR/GIM. So these are the hierarchies in which your folders are saved in the system, not to the user, in the system, to get an identification. Then directory system, this is main hierarchy what I am talking about. Child process, parent process, or parent process, child process. Then you have Windows Win32. Windows Win32 is again a different system which has different descriptions. So every system call will differ with different applications or operating systems. So Unix has this functions, whereas that is system calls, and Windows 32 has this different calls. So next is monolithic systems. So basic structure of operating system, a main program that invokes requested service procedures. Yes, obviously, when my user demands a particular program, the requested service procedures are being given to that particular user. A set of service procedures that carry out the system calls are can be termed as monolithic systems. Monolithic means one single system. A set of utility procedures that help the service procedures. So there will be certain tasks which can be given to the utility procedures to complete that service task. So this is how your main monolithic system looks like. Main procedure, service procedures, and utility procedures. Can you all see these lines in between? So these lines indicate that they are interconnected. Now your main procedure is only connected with the service procedure, separate service procedures. But my service procedures have different utilities. So it's not necessary my every service which I am providing to my main procedure will be the same. They can be interconnected, but my service procedure connected with my main procedure will be separate. So what are layered system? Layer system stands for layering your data. That is, fifth layer is the operator, that is the main user. Then the user program which that operator is using. Then input output management. When my user is using a user program, he is using my input output devices. Then the operator process communication is getting communicated with the system through the input output devices. Then when it gets connected with the input output devices through a process, it requires memory and RAM management, that is registers. As well as after memory, the processor allocation and multiprogramming starts. That is the last level, that is the last layer is when programming is being taken into consideration. There will be operator, user programs, input output management, operator process communication, memory and RAM management, and then processor allocation and multi-programming.